This is strawberries. They came in. This is this is a sucker that I buried here. It's a sucker from this one. Whoa, after 1 day. 1.5 days. I was thinking if I put them together, they will sprout even more, right? I hope. Sorry. No! My potatoes have started coming in from the garden and I am loving this. They were washed by the river and honestly, look at how clean potatoes can be. And I am supposed to put this garlic in water so that they can produce roots. You see, they only have shoots, and this one looks like it's spoiling, so I have to put the water right now. I went ahead and added some more bulbs just so that they can stand properly. That spilled over. Stay there. And I think these ones are just... I really wanted some new potato slips. Nah. I think these ones have spoiled, but I've been successful with potato slips so far. Today we are having potatoes. I don't even know in what capacity. I'm literally looking up recipes. Looking up, and I already saved a folder. I've been doing this thing where I am looking up homesteaders and how they're using their produce, like at home and all of that for subsistence and home use. And I have a couple of ideas of what I want to do, because it's been a while. Hey, potatoes are expensive now. I've been substituting sweet potatoes to substitute them. And look at those cucumbers. So this is aloe vera, and we actually found it here. It's actually a really nice plant. It's so resilient. Like, we thought it would die out because we don't water this. We really do not water this. And I cut a few just to see whether they'll sprout, but this one looks so brown, it looks like it's rotting. And I put them in with some tomatoes we put here last week. No, the last 2 weeks, I think. And this is a nice long tomato. This is a money plant. I don't know why it's still in water. When I asked about how it's being raised and if it's still okay for it to be in water, I was told, yeah. So this outside space is not even done or close to done, and I don't think it will be in a while because we may move. And this plant, I do not know what this is. Okay, it's sharp, and these things are left on your hand, so I like to handle it when I have something on my hands. I wouldn't say gloves, but something. I don't know what this is. I do know it is a squash plant though, but I do not know what it is, like, specifically. Here is a bigger plant. I started to think it's thorn melon, but the thing is, this is the thorn melon plant. This is a squash of some sort, so we're just lost. So the dogs actually stepped on this a couple of times. It had some cherry tomatoes, so we didn't transplant anything or do anything with this. We just keep watering it and letting the ones that will grow. Here I had 2 tomato plants, and here I had 1 tomato plant, and they were uprooted and thrown. That's a whole different story. This is a chili plant, and I don't know whether a chili plant and a tomato plant are supposed to be in the same pot, but yes, this is cherry tomato. Yeah, and here are carrot seedlings. And the thing about some small seedlings is whether these are weeds or not, I do not know, and I'm not sure, and I don't want to uproot them in case they come out with some seeds. So you just have to wait. But this specifically is a bean. There's a time I was cooking beans, and what happened is I soaked them, and I usually remember that before you plant beans and a lot of legumes, you soak them so they can sprout easily, so the seed coat can soften. And after I noticed they were full, zilikuwa zimefura, they were full. Zilikuwa zimefura, I hid a few just in random spots, because you see this one is one, this is another one, there's no other there. But yeah, I hid them in several spots. This is strawberries. They came in. This is a sucker that I buried here. It's a sucker from this one, and it actually comes out like this. This is another strawberry plant on its own, on its own. Flowers. My nyanyas are flowering. See, now the thing is, I don't know whether we actually planted this or they came into their own, because a lot of the plants we have just came into a lot of the tomatoes we have just came into their own. Look at this one. It is so tall. Like this. Look. All the way. It just comes all the way up to there. And I had some nasturtiums. I have some nasturtiums. Is this even supported? There's another one here. There are so many tomato plants that it gets confusing. Like, this is just more of a disheveled garden than it is a tended to garden. It is tended to. It's just, it had no planning. The cherry tomatoes were rare, so when we found them, we were so excited. We didn't want to lose the little tomatoes we had. It was like a small bunch of tomatoes, so we had to like sauce the seeds quickly. We didn't even eat them. We just sauced the seeds. Oh yeah, I put the coats in like the food. I added it to the food. But and here there were 2 more tomato plants, but they were plucked out again with that. And here is another one, and another one down there, and this is another tall one. This is another tall one. This is one. This is another one on the side. This one is actually over there. This one. This baby. And this baby, this second baby, this one actually we transplanted it like 2 weeks ago. And it's not actually a transplant. The root actually cut off. But tomato plants do this thing where they make roots from their stem. Even when you're transplanting, you should transplant them deeper, because they really want to become roots, and you won't stop them from becoming roots, which was the saving grace, because we just put it inside the soil really deep from the stem, because the root was broken already from the stem, and then we put some supports. And then we waited for Hail Mary. And I'm so glad we decided to save it and to save these ones, because after they were removed, this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5 tomato plants were removed because of how they looked like by someone who wasn't even supposed to be touching my garden. Anyways, that aside, after they were removed, I was actually glad we gave this one a chance and we gave those ones a chance, because now you see here I feel like there's 2 of them that are not dead yet, or 3 plants, and those are salvageable. And yeah, I got some. And even when I say that it's nice that we saved them, I'm not saying we have a shortage, because look, this is a tomato plant, this is a tomato plant that's almost dying, this is a tomato plant, this is a tomato plant that haina mwelekeo like me in future, but just looks like it's hanging in there. You know, there's so many tomato plants. I don't even know whether this is a celery or coriander. I'm not sure. This is some greens. I actually got some greens from this spot yesterday. And here is mint. I constantly hide mint everywhere. Yes, it has taken roots. When you see it has some yellow leaves, the ones that it had before, and then they're coming off, that means it's holding on there, and I have to weed this. The nice thing about weeding is that this is free pig food. Some nom-noms for my nom-noms. Yeah. Did I just call it? And here is another mint. I literally have several spots that I harvest anything to do with mint, because you like should take a stem most of the time, just so that you can be pruning while harvesting. Yeah, so here, it's up here. This was my first mint bed in this place, and it started dying out. I didn't know why. So every time I would uproot something, even before it was here, because anybody that I've told that was here, that has visited, and I told them this started dying out, they started saying it's because, oh, it's high up, oh, it's being hidden. Oh, no, that's not the reason. If anything, this actually grew to follow the light on the side. The problem I didn't figure out, because it started before we put it here. It was in a place with a lot of light. Not a lot of light, but like, yeah, significant light. It didn't have this board on top of it. And we had to switch the side of the garden, because we were making this chicken coop, and it's not even done yet. We only left one small, should I call them beds? One small container here, and it's actually full of mint as well. And I even put it in here. Okay, that sounds wrong. I even put them here as a joke, like the stems. And now they're just, I have to weed this container, because it has so many oxalis and weeds. And you see, this is another one. It was together with the tomato plant that was here, that was plucked. But yeah, that's another place I hide little mints. That is the end of my little garden tour. My little container garden tour. Oh, but like, just look at them. They look so nice. Hi, ladies. Hello, girls. Hello, girls. With your big leaves. With your big leaves. Hello. Anyway, so there's that. And yeah, I don't know what this plant is, but as I said, it keeps going and going and going, because look at it, it's going and going and going, and you have to keep like tying new things every day. And in the morning sometimes I just put on like a paper on my hands, like a bread wrapping paper, and then I just come and start just rolling the tendrils up. That's the same thing I do with this one. Even if it doesn't scratch, it's calming, it's soothing to help them up. And this are almost ready to start holding on to this place. And then this, the shocking thing actually with this plant is that this is its base. Look at that small stem, and then just comes, it branches there. That one hasn't like fully formed yet. Then it comes up, and it's already started giving a bath here. And then it goes up, and this becomes a full-on third vine. And this is a second, and this is a third, a fourth. Wait, 1, 2, 3, and then this is 4. So like now those are the ones that are making up the longest strands. They're the ones that keep interlocking and intertwining, and it just goes up to become some glorious live wall, and I love it. Am I really almost crying for plants? Okay. And here is the chicken coop that we may never get to use after doing all this. Imagine after doing all this. It became storage for a while. You see even this, like the roasting logs, wood things. Why did I have the name for it? And there's more on that side. This was quite a cute Maybe I just close. Nah, please no, don't do this. Nah. Every time I open it, I come with my kiherehere and then I open this. It's always difficult to close, so I keep wondering. So kat ungekuwa na kuku. If we had chickens there, if we had hens there, I would not even. And these are some of my containers for planting. I actually thought this outside part would. That's a place for the vifaranga. The chicks, the baby chicks. Hey, I have looked for that name. Anyway, yes, I thought this place would be some great reveal afterwards when you put the bamboo and the chicken wire all around this small chicken coop. But then considering we may move, it became more clear that I should just do this small, tiny reveal, because I remember how this place looked like. This is still where we burn the trash, so that place, honestly, unless we put the stones around it like this and then have the fire in the middle so the mess can be contained in the middle, it'll always just end up looking messy. Even when you think it's neat because you remember how it was like yesterday, it still can fall on the category of messy. And this is some soil that we got that we never finished using, and now that we may move, we may not use it. And this is an unplanted tomato plant that's growing next to the fire. That is why I'm telling you, nobody planted this. So that is why I'm telling you, these tomato plants are just resilient. They will just grow anywhere. And we have more tomatoes here. We have more here. My tomatoes over there. I want to say my baby tomatoes, but considering I have cherry tomatoes like in the garden somewhere, I'm afraid of saying my baby tomatoes. Then they turn into the fruits become the normal Roma tomatoes. And this planter, these are not doing very, very well. Actually, some of them died off. But the thing about this planter is it works. Things actually held and survived and took roots. And considering this is the spinach, kale, the greens we used, the brassicas we used were the kudeshererio. These ones that grow next to rivers mostly. They need large water supply. They need to like be at the root of it all, at the water of it all, you know. They're really needy greens, and they take a while. They're really needy before they take root. Like once you deshereria them, what is deshereria in another language? Oh my god. I did not think my language barrier would be that I cannot remember a word in English and I only remember it in Kikuyu. The ones that you just transplant by cutting the branch and just like digging it in somewhere and it'll take roots. Actually, that's just what I did to the mint. I don't know why that was harder to explain. I don't know. And here is a bean that I hid. Remember, the beans have been hiding all around. And the mint. And this is a tomato plant that actually cut off from another plant, and I couldn't say that because I feel like I've killed a lot of plants. So I just like put it here and wished for Helloooo. So that is the end of that part. Well, I could have done more with the garden. I really could have, but the what is this called? The small chicken run would have come from that part of the toilet, that part, and then come like this, and then that would have enabled me to like, even if it's put containers all around it or something like that, with this live fence. Yeah, it could have grown all on top of it. You know, like more could have been done while encasing it was the skeleton, and then so that you can pile on the meat and, you know, the starch and the, what else do you pile on a body? Just fat and body and meat and, you know, ingredients and character, more character. Yes. And then there's this, my little coriander plants. And this ones were planted like 3 or 4 weeks ago. 2.5. I'll check the dates of the photos because I took photos and I took videos of us doing this. So I'm gonna check when that was. And this is where buckets and buckets and buckets of water are. And this is the gate to the outside. Yeah, that's the outside. And go back in. Okay, bye bye. Ciao, ciao. Nice, 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 nice.